This is father water.
Uh-huh.
Father.
Morning. Good morning.
Morning. Don't ask, you don't get
Yeah, that's fair. We're not late. Right. Kiss, cuddle. Mwah. Love you, darling.
Love you, bye.
Have a great day. Bye-bye. Come on, little legs. It's your turn. Got to get you in. Come on. You call me a slow coach. Get going. There's always the bloody worst bit. Bloody incline. Oh, well, nearly home. The bloody calves are burning. Home, sweet home. Home, sweet home. Don't look at me like I am special, let's be honest. Yes, mate. Yes, geez, someone else. Alright. I'm Jafinda, the face and voice behind Chunky Geezer. And when I say Jafinda, not that one. That one. I'll be honest, the previous clips that I recorded for the intro were meant to then go into this video. But we had family come round and I didn't have time, so I thought I'd do the intro because it kind of matches the way that my other intros work. But anyway, this video is about the YouTube Partner Program. Now, I got a message from YouTube the other day about being accepted or being invited to their first step, their initial step to the Partner Program, which is what they offer you when you are about 500 subscribers and you meet some bits of the criteria. And that's what gives you the join button. Thought about it. It's very unnatural to me. It's very odd to me, but after looking at other YouTube accounts and kind of doing my little bit of research, I'm going to activate it purely for the interest of the people that wish to provide and add that, you know, extra benefit to the content, not because I feel like I need to push that or that I want you to do it, even though if I didn't want you to do it I wouldn't have turned it on. But I did turn it on, which means I suppose part of me wants you to do it. But I'm going to use this video as a way of talking about, you know, what the benefits are, why I'm doing it, and so on. So, first thing, let's be brutally honest, I'm on your side monitor. I'm not on your main monitor. So, why don't we do what everybody does? Let's run some gameplay in the background while I talk to you, so that while I'm on your second monitor, it looks more like I'm playing the game and you're watching a game video rather than my webcam footage. So let's just jump over to that one now. Perfect. Hello, here we are again, back on the old Chunky Geezer. So we're still killing rabbits as it goes. I don't know how many we've got, but I'm sure I can show you shortly. So the initial bit, why I started making videos. So I had plans of starting making videos about January in 2025. It was a long old push to get the confidence to do it. The idea of talking out loud, not to myself, well, kind of talking to myself, you know, the idea that I'm trying to pretend that I'm talking to someone that isn't there. I'm sure anybody that tells you about making streams or videos, it's a very strange, surreal concept that you kind of have to get your head around. But I had plans on doing it. Certain situations changed in January of 2025 that made it a very big possibility for me, that gave me the freedom and the time to basically go into doing it. So it was more like, you know, building confidence and trying to work out what I could do that may be worthwhile. Now, I spent a lot of time trying to think about all these other options, all these possibilities that might be doable. You know, when Settled came out with the Mauritania locked account, that was huge, and it took the community by storm, or at least that's what I felt like it did. I kind of feel like we're at a point now where the content isn't stale, but so many people are doing it, it's kind of hard to stand out. Again, if you're new to YouTube, or you're watching this and you've thought about it, or you're new into it, I'm sure you'll understand, you know, trying to find that niche, trying to find that opener that gets your foot into the door it's a bit daunting sometimes. But, you know, that's why I started making videos. I love the game. I've played it for 20 years. Just the idea of being able to entertain people with things that happen in my life daily while playing the game kind of felt like a big element to me. My granddad was a big inspiration for me doing entertainment, or being an entertainer. So, you know, I like to live in his footsteps. So this isn't a financial thing. I can survive financially. Like I say, I'm not doing this to try and make it financially viable. Although when YouTube gives me the ability to make money from views and adverts, that's when I'll start considering it more like a job, I suppose. Financially gaining from it. That's when I suppose you could start considering yourself a content creator. But still, it's a weird concept for me. I've never thought about myself doing something like that. You know, when I first watched Boaty do his streams way back when Old School RuneScape first came out, just the idea, it reminded me of when I was a kid and I used to think about, oh, do you know, I wonder if I could ever make money from playing RuneScape. And I'd always try and, you know, joke about how cool would it be if there was a way that I could transform my in-game money to real money, and I could be a millionaire and all that sort of stuff. But, you know, you crazy thoughts when you're a kid. But yeah, you know, I remember watching Boaty back then, the way that he was doing Macmillan live streams and stuff. I just wished I could have done something like that. And I suppose that's kind of where we are now. That's what's pushed me to do it, I suppose. Just stuff like that. I really enjoy watching them. I feel like there's sometimes I may be able to contribute something that's equally as beneficial to a community or the game community itself. And yeah, that's what's kind of also pushing me to do this. Not a financial thing, it's just fun. The financial aspect to it, I suppose, is just a bonus that kind of validates me doing it in a time where I have the ability to. So also in this video, I'm going to go over like why I'm doing this. I'm also going to go over, you know, what the join fee, what the membership's going to be used for, and where that money goes. I'm going to explain the tiers that come with it and a few other things. So the first thing, why am I doing this? Why have I activated the membership? So again, anyone that's a content creator when it comes to video games is going to tell you a large majority of their job involves sitting down and doing what I'm doing currently right now. In theory, it's an amazing idea that you'd get paid for playing your video games. You know, that's a brilliant idea. In reality, it's so unhealthy. The fact that I'm sat here for, you know, 10 hours a day playing the game that I'm enjoying playing, it's just not great. So the first thing I'm doing it for is my health. That doesn't make sense, but I'll get onto that shortly. The other reason why I'm doing it is a way of improving content. You see people high up there that do these sort of series, and you know, they've got absolutely amazing thumbnails and they have clips in the videos that are like cinematic and so overly made and so amazingly graphic in detail. That's another reason why I want to do it, because I have ideas, I have things that I want to do, and my expertise are extremely limited. So I want to be able to give someone that's got the ability to make something amazing the ideas that I have, and then for them to conceptualize those ideas and put them into reality, because I want you to see the ideas that I have. Sometimes they're hilarious, I think. Sometimes they're amazing. I don't know. I've just got ideas, and I think you as a community, you as a viewer, need to see them. So that's where it's also going to go. Those are really the two main things. I've not really got any other reason to why I've decided to do this other than my health and to provide better quality. But what it's for and where it's going to go. So I kind of thought about this a little bit. Any funds will primarily go towards upgrades and subscriptions. They are going to do that before I even think about things personally. So what I mean by that is things like hardware upgrades to make content better and the quality better, subscriptions like game account subscriptions and website subscriptions, and anything else that goes along with creating content, just so that I can make sure that I maximize the potential of what I have to offer. Where the money is going to go, now this is the bit that I suppose I found the easiest out of this whole situation, this whole idea. So I've put them in order. Obviously, as time goes along, this list could potentially change, but I have plans for if it were to change. So number one, lose weight and better health. So I've signed up to the gym. I want to improve my quality of health so that I can overcome the sitting down forever sort of thing. So gym memberships, better eating, maybe subscriptions to something like those food things that like Factor and stuff like that, for meal planning. One of the biggest things that I've spoken to sort of health professionals and the health advisor that I've recently got, the injections like Mounjaro and Wegovy, Ozempic, whatever you want to call it. Now, they said that they are amazing, and the only thing holding people back right now is the waiting list on the UK NHS is ridiculous. So being able to pay for it is definitely advisable if that's what you want to do. Now, I've had a look. They start at £150 and they go up to £300, which doesn't necessarily sound like a lot. I've got a fiance and 2 children, so by the time you've factored in all the things that come with a family of 4, you've not really got that potential anymore. And I'd much rather it go to them anyway. So again, with the membership fees, the money from the membership, that's the initial thing where it goes on. Next year, me and my partner plan to get married, which is what brings us on to number 2. I would like to try and use the time that I spend on here making these videos and the money that I may get from it towards, the wedding fees. They are very, very expensive, between 10 and 20 grand for your average comfortable wedding. That's not money that I've got right now. And when my partner's sitting there planning it, I offer my assistance as much as I physically can, but at the same time, playing a video game daily for making content and being entertaining, could argue that you could use that sort of towards making a wedding happen. And I apologise, I'm freestyling this with a list. So, but anyway, that's one thing I'd like to accomplish from from this as well, being able to say that I did something that I loved, and it wasn't, from an outsider's perspective, wasted time. because I think it wastes time. I like it. I like what I do, but someone from the outside might think differently. So number 3 is content quality. That's what I've mentioned already. Art designers, thumbnails, videos. When it comes to things like the quality of content, I want to make sure I can make it as good as possible to make sure that what you're watching is actually enjoyable and doesn't sort of, you know, plateau. I also want to make sure, again, that all of my ideas that I come up with are conceptualizing videos, because again, I feel like I have some really good ideas, but they just never come to light because I just don't have that expertise to make them. Number 4 is hardware upgrades. So again, that's things like microphones, audio interface, computer specs and stuff like that. That's probably one of those things that falls off the moment I've bought those things, but I suppose there's always going to be an upgrade somewhere. But that's number 4. That's what I want to make sure. I want to make sure that my hardware stays consistent, up to date, and the quality, again, of the things that you're seeing and hearing are as good as they can be. Because let's face it, if I'm on your second monitor, you're not going to want to hear shit. You want to hear top tier audio, especially when I'm talking in your ears. And I've read the comments. Apparently some people like that. So let's make it sound as nice as possible. Number 5 is going to be game subscriptions. So that's memberships for the chunk account. And if we ever make one-time episodes or another series or anything like that in the future, towards that as well. I keep conceptualizing ideas. I keep sort of theorizing ideas for accounts that could work, that could be fun or entertaining. I'm pretty open when it comes to possibilities, and there are going to be times where I put a poll out asking you as the viewer, what do you want to see? Have you ever had an idea of something that might be amazing on paper, but you're not too sure? And or your ideas for a series that you don't want to, you know, put all your commitment and time to because you've got other things going on. And if you have, then chuck me the idea. You can DM me on my Discord, which I've now just made, or you can answer to the poll. If it's something that we can work out together, I'll give you credit for it in the videos and I'll just make the videos. You know, that's something we can work out. I'm always open to trying new things when it comes to that. Number 6, which is not final, but it's the last one I have on the list, and that's savings and providing for my family. So number 6 comes as once numbers 1 to 5 are fulfilled or currently not available, I'll then make sure that whatever's left over in that little pot of membership money that I get goes towards savings and family. And that's going to be things like, you know, clubs and things that my children want to do, like swimming lessons and stuff like that. That's where that's going to go. But again, that's not going to happen unless 1 to 5 are already paid or catered for. Because like I say, this isn't a thing to keep me financially stable. This is a thing for me to cover things to do with this content and provide better videos and such. So let's go over the tier list and their, I suppose you could say, benefits. Again, it's quite a foreign concept to me, this, so I'm not too sure how to talk about it. But YouTube provides you a collection of options. I went with 4 tiers. I went over all the YouTubers that I watch. I checked their join buttons and what they had to offer based on that, and I tried to make sure that I offered equal, or if not more, to what they had to offer. So tier number 1, the geezers tier. That's just an opener. If I were to have an expectation, this would be as far as it goes. This is down as 99 pence, or whatever that may be in your country, in dollars or whatever it is. That gets you a loyalty badge. That gets you access to custom emojis that I have personally made. That also gets you a role in Discord once I've activated this membership scheme and paired it to the Discord channel. the the Discord. The second option is $4.99. I honestly didn't know what to set the second option to. All I can tell you is that I'm a stickler for round numbers and keeping things consistent, so I picked $4.99. That gets you a bigger shout out on screen. I'll give you a bit more screen space. I will prioritize replies to your comments, and where membership polls are necessary or I do them, you'll get access to them, as well as discounted merch once or if merch were to come out. I do have ideas for merch. I'm sure that anybody that has heard a few slogans or a few things that I've said in videos, I'm sure you have an idea of what I could put on a t-shirt that people might like to see or wear. So as and when something like that happens, discounts will apply and I'll send them out to yourselves. Number 3, again, like I say, I like to keep it a little bit consistent and keep it the same. So that is done as $8.99. It's an extra £4. Again, I don't expect anybody to do tier 2 or tier 3, but it's just there if you decide that you would like to. In tier 3, again, an even bigger shout out than before. I will provide photos and status updates in Discord via a private channel dedicated to people in that membership tier, and that'll be things like weight loss journey and life updates in relation to content, things that just happen in my life in general that you may be interested in hearing. Nothing super duper personal. We don't need to go that far, but you know, if I do a week of exercise and I do a weigh-in and I've actually lost something, I'll share that with you. I'll share pictures, or we can discuss that. You know, we can work that one out. In the final one, which is tier 4, this is literally done because every single person that I looked at online, when it came to their join button, they always had like 3 or 4 sensible options, and then one, if you feel like throwing money at a brick wall, that just go nuts. And for me, that was down as $29.99. A lot of people had it down as $44.99, and I suppose for consistency's sake, maybe I should have done that, but I couldn't justify going more than £30. Thanks, Charles. What have you got for me? Ah, fuck all. Brilliant. Thanks, Charles. I couldn't consider going much more than 30. You know, it just seemed a bit unreasonable getting close to the 50 mark than that. So with that, I had no idea, my kidney or something. No, jokes aside, I wanted to do something that's a bit personal, just to say thanks for that. Now on here, I've got down written a personal cameo, but that is going to be something along the lines of like a personal thank you. If someone registers to that, you know, you can join my Discord and I will personally send you a thank you video in the form of a cameo. Or if you have an idea of what you would like me to do or see or say, then, you know, I'll message you and find out what the deal is and we can work something out. As long as it's sensible and it's not going to get me in trouble, then I'm absolutely fine with us working something out and me giving you something that's personal and hilarious, or personal and, you know, whatever. We can work that out. I mean, for 30 quid, a personal thank you is the very least I could do. Oh, I can't imagine anyone doing the £30, $29.99 membership, but goddamn, if you do, it'll, yeah. I don't know what else to say. Cup of char. Wet the old whistle. Something I'm going to do that I would like to do is an annual membership update, and that's for every single member or every single paid member. So what I'd like to do is, you know, a year from now, or once this video is posted, a year from when this video is posted, do a kind of like a year to date, like a Spotify Wrapped, if you were, let you know where things went, what we achieved, if the list of where that money goes changes, stuff like that. I'll keep you up to date as much as I can, kind of like a bank value video that people do, but more on my life and my goals and my aspirations rather than on how much money is in my bank on RuneScape. Now again, lastly, this is the last thing, I have no expectation for anybody to do this. Content wise, I'm doing it for myself. I'm playing the game myself. I'm recording the clips myself. I'm finding the time to put the video together myself. The things that you've seen so far in my other videos, pictures, graphics, introductions, all that sort of stuff, I'm doing my best to put together myself. I've got very, very limited Photoshop skills, and I've got incredibly limited skills when it comes to putting videos together. But that's why I'm doing it, because I actually do enjoy doing this. So the last thing I wanted to mention, as I say, is feedback. I would like to know what you would like to see that would add value to the membership that you decide to pay up for. And on top of that, I would also like to know, if you thought about signing up but chose not to, why is that the case, and what can I do that may justify or may add quality or may add value to said subscription. Again, I'm not, if you straight up don't want to, I'm okay with you. I agree with you. I don't expect you to follow up on the feedback. But if it's something that you've thought about, or it's something that you have done, I'd still like to know that feedback, because again, at that point, I'm not doing it for myself just for fun. I'm also doing it for you as a viewer. So I need to know what I can do to provide as much quality to the subscriptions that you're paying for. I'm also happy to do other forms of content as well, maybe in the form of membership videos. Things like meme reaction videos, or making shorts, or behind the scenes videos, or spoilers. One thing that I've always been a little bit passionate for is live streaming. The only reason why I can't do it is because it's difficult to do a live stream when you've got 2 children and a fiance. There are times where I'm able to do it, but justifying something that is quite committing from an outside perspective for no reason other than for fun can kind of be a bit difficult, like I say, when you've got children and a fiance. But financial gain makes something like that possible. So if you feel like you don't want to subscribe because you don't feel like you get enough value from the videos, but you would from live streaming, then again, chuck that in that feedback and let me know, because I'm happy to do that. And we can work, me and my partner will sit down, we'll work out some sort of schedule that works around us, and then we can chuck that together for your benefit, because that's what this is for. Membership is for your benefit. The one thing I've done to gauge that feedback is an anonymous Google form that I've made. I'll chuck that in the description of this video, and there's no sign up, there's no requirement for an email. I think the only thing that's on there is if you want to return to your form later, you can sign into your Google account, but that's literally got nothing to do with me. That's just Google itself, because it's a Google form. I've not required an email whatsoever. So all you got to do, open the link, click maybe 4 or 5 questions, and then jobs are good and move along. You don't, I've tried to make it as low, as easy and as quick as possible, so that you can sit down, do it quickly while you're waiting for something and move along, not think anything about it. But again, it gives me an idea of what we're doing, where we can make things better, and adds value to what these memberships have to offer. I have also, lastly, created a Discord group. So I'll drop that in the link below. If you fancy joining it and want to just speak to a bunch of people that are chill I've got a couple of friends in there right now. Just join it if you want. That's no problem. We can have a nice chat. You can speak to me personally in comments on the groups, because I will be using it more like my own personal way of getting to post updates and stuff outside of what I've offered in the membership. So game updates and achievements and that sort of stuff, I'll be actively posting in there, and I will overly be talking in there. So if you want to just share your stuff from the game, and you know, I'll reply to it and I'll talk to you about it. I can't necessarily promise you that if it decides to blow up, because it'll be hard to monitor. But while it's new, fresh, and there's nobody in it other than 3 or 4 of my friends, jump in now and we can have a chat, because that's very possible right now. Anyway, comments, put them at the bottom. The least I can ask you to do is that, because it again gives me feedback on what you like, what I've done good, and so on and so forth. So the very minimum, drop us a comment in the comments below. If you do like what you see and you want to see more, because I've got more chunky geezer on the way, as you can see by the rabbit killing, drop us a subscription, hit that like button, all for the YouTube algorithm, so it can push and push and push. And if you so want to provide more than that, feel free to click that join button. Have a lovely day. I'm going to go to bed once I've drunk my cup of tea. And the last thing that you need to do is come here. Come here. Love your fat mum. Mr. D said you only get one. So love her right.